Will the class of 2022 please be seated? Good evening, and welcome to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2022. I am utterly esteemed to be standing before my fellow classmates to honor our great prestiges and hard-earned achievements. Over the past 4 years, we have attributed many hours of hard work, determination, and probably more tears than we would have liked to be able to sit here today. When we first walked through those big blue doors in 2018 as freshmen, we thought the time to graduate would never come. Well, here we are. Yes, there were dark times and obstacles, but let's reminisce on our persistence during tough times. Overcoming obstacles and embracing our failures allows us to step into the light and look on the bright side. We made it. We all made it to the new day. New days bring new opportunities. New opportunities bring new ways to think, learn, and lead. And on this day, the opportunity of graduating sits right in front of us. Wherever we end up, lead yourself. Lead yourself to experience things out of your comfort zone and push yourself to the next level. After all, leaders are just ordinary people with extraordinary expectations. Set your expectations high. Take every lesson that you've learned from high school, like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, or a little bit more momentous lesson, like learning to look on the bright side of every situation. Each day in high school, we woke up and saw the sunrise of the new day. Every day is a fresh start. Every sunrise is a new chapter in our lives, and it's waiting for us to write it. As we reflect on our journey when we first took the big yellow school bus for our first day of kindergarten, let's now take a journey on our last trip together as the class of 2022. If you have taken anything from this oration, take this. There are no shortcuts to places worth going. Praise loudly, strive for success, and create limitless dreams. Wherever we end up, the sun will continue to shine, and the stars will continue to glimmer. And always remember to shine your light as bright as you can wherever you go.
Within the oceans of human history, our lives are mere droplets. But even a droplet can form ripples that seem to echo on forever, long after the initial drop has dissolved into the expanse. For millennia, mankind has struggled with the thought of their own mortality, and yet, in some ways, it is the very notion of our temporary existence that has propelled society to venture beyond the capabilities of our ancestors' wildest dreams. Though life may be short, find your eternity in each moment. Ernest Hemingway writes, "Today is only one day, and all the days that ever will be. But what will happen in all those other days that ever can come will depend on what you do today." Whatever your race, gender, class, we must reject injustices and ensure that the pulse of the American dream beats unrelentingly, for you and for us. The stories of our great American heroes often all start the same. A small town, a menial income, and of course, one big imagination. Despite the unfortunate pressures toward conformity that modern society has built, I implore the class of 2022 to stray from the worn paths of familiarity. From Hamlet, this above all, to thine own self be true. Shine your light upon the roads less traveled. After all, that tends to be the scenic route. In the wise words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. These tangled and unventured trails will be riddled with dead ends and darkness. But without setbacks, there are no comebacks. Having a fear of the dark is human. And yet there's still something so captivating and intoxicating about uncovering what lurks in the shadows. The unknown is terrifying, maybe even dangerous. Voluntarily stepping into the darkness must be irrational, although where would our nation be right now if it weren't for our inherent irrationality? In ancient days, men gazed into the cosmos and saw their heroes amongst the constellations. In modern days, we do much the same, though our unfaltering stars of hope are now accompanied by red and white stripes on a banner that symbolizes unimaginable sacrifice, limitless faith, and unshakable optimism for countless Americans. Therefore, please stand and join me in honoring our flag with the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for our national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Gentlemen, please replace your caps.
Norwin High School is full of students who have shined a very bright light on our school, the community, and on themselves. This class has displayed numerous amounts of determination and perseverance through their 4 years of high school. As students, we come to face many challenges within these 4 walls we are soon to call our alma mater. However, one of the most important lessons we the students are taught during our short high school career is how to remain a bright light when the other lights begin to dim. The class of 2022's ability to excel through the difficult times is the mere reason you are about to see 407 students graduate. There are so many outstanding achievements that this class has to be proud of. I am honored to recognize a few of these individuals who have shown outstanding academic integrity and hard work. A number of students present are wearing colored cords. These cords symbolize the extreme academic excellence these individuals have achieved throughout their high school career. Please refer to page 3, which identifies the colored cords proudly worn by this year's graduates. At this time, would all students wearing cords, as well as their parents, please stand to be recognized?
You may be seated. 8 students here today will be entering the armed forces. Would those students and their parents please stand to be recognized? We thank you for your courage, bravery, and service to our country. You may be seated. I am proud to announce the recipient of this year's Richard W. Murdoch Scholarship as Victoria Hua. Victoria has been awarded this scholarship due to her extreme impact and contributions to the school and community, her academic performance, her drive for success, and outstanding overall excellence. Will Victoria and her family please stand to be recognized? You may be seated. I am also honored to present this year's John B. Rogers Scholarship recipient as Jacob Capitz. Jacob was chosen for this scholarship due to his contributions to this school and community, his immense character, and merit. Will Jacob and his family please stand to be recognized? You may be seated. It is with great pleasure that I acknowledge the class of 2022 Salutatorian, Jacob Capitz. Your impressive work ethic and ambition is a testament to your character and drive. Will Jacob and his family please stand to be recognized? You may be seated. I am honored to announce the class of 2022's valedictorian as Rebecca Testa. Your incredible dedication to your scholastic career and overwhelming amounts of success not only leaves a lasting impression on your fellow graduates, but creates an impactful legacy and model for future students to look up to and follow. You should be very proud of your achievements and this very high honor. Would Rebecca and her family please stand to be recognized? You may be seated. Every student sitting here today has countless things to be proud of, from becoming a varsity athlete, a straight-A student, taking your final bow after your last performance, or even sitting on this field today waiting to accept your diploma. These are all significant achievements and memories that we as a class will carry with us forever. As Rapunzel said in Tangled, "At last I see the light, and it's like the fog has lifted." Graduates, the fog of your childhood has lifted and disappeared, and has left you with the view of the sun beginning to rise in the distance. Do not be afraid to walk into the unknown to see that sunrise. Rather, embrace that newfound light and let it guide you to new places, people, and opportunities. And above all, continue to shine your light wherever life may take you, and allow that light to shine on and impact others.
Our sun seems always to have stood as a symbol of eternity. Though we are ever-changing, though the phases of our lives begin and end in the blink of an eye, the same sun that shone upon our ancestors shines upon us when it rises up each morning. The constance of the sun is a reminder, by contrast, of the brevity of our own lives. Yet even the great sun will someday die, meaning that it, like us, is only temporary. This fact may seem a little dismal on commencement day, but I encourage you to take comfort in it. Recall that the sun is life-giving and a beacon of light to our world, brilliant despite its impermanence. We too may shine a brilliant light, though our lives are brief, if we embrace each moment that we have the privilege to experience. Over the last 12 years, class of 2022, we have done just that. Day after day, year after year, we have come together here and experienced life, influencing and supporting each other as we developed as students and, more importantly, as people. Just a few days ago, we returned to our elementary schools, where we made our very first friendships so many years ago, where we laid the foundations for today's successes. From there, we moved on to the next grade and the next. We learned ever more complex concepts so deeply that they changed our perspectives on life itself.
We felt lost sometimes, both literally when we first attempted to navigate the high school hallways and figuratively within ourselves, but we always found our way again. And all that time, in all those years, we were somehow thinking of today, waiting for it, working toward it. Look around you. Sitting together now, at the culmination of our time together, our collective light shines more brightly than ever. And this is it. After today, we will never be assembled in this way again. In a short time, we will step off this field, wave goodbye to some people for the last time, and move into a new, separate chapter of life. The sun will set in just a few hours, and our light will disperse forever. But consider this. This ceremony, this tradition that we have so long associated with finality, is called commencement, to commence. Not to end or to conclude, but to begin the next stage of our lives. Your life after today will not look the same as it did yesterday, or as it has for the last 12 years. You need not attempt to make it so. But the influence of our time at Norwin stays with us, serving as the stepping stone for this new beginning as we commence life as adults. Though today you may leave behind places, hobbies, friends, keep with you the spirit, passion, and enthusiasm, the zest for life that you have found here. It is tempting to cling to the past, to chase the sun as it sets on this high school horizon. But, as Thoreau reminds us, there is more day to dawn. The sun is but a morning star. True, the sun has now set on a major chapter in our lives. Yet, sitting at commencement, a beginning, we do not scatter into darkness. We scatter into a new constellation of light.
Before presenting the class of 2022 to Dr. Taylor for the awarding of diplomas, I would like to take a moment to recognize some of the people whose efforts represent the dedication and commitment to educational excellence that have assisted this class in attaining their goal of graduation from Norwood High School. Guests, please refer to the back cover of your program. I request those present to stand as I call their names and remain standing until all names have been announced. Please withhold your applause until all to be recognized. Board of Education, Mrs. Sioka, President, Mr. Kozak, Vice President, Ms. Baverso, Mr. Detschelt, Mr. Essay, Ms. Alogan, Ms. Jordan, Mr. Lynn, Mr. Wayman. From Central Administration, Dr. Taylor, Dr. McCracken, Dr. Snyder, Dr. Newell, Mr. Kirsch, Mr. Robleski, Mrs. Haberman, Ms. Steiner, Mr. Christ, Mr. Petrarco, Mr. Stewart, our curriculum leaders, Mrs. Satterfield, Mr. Rackvick, Mr. Amick, Mrs. Thorson, Mrs. Ferragonio, Mrs. Miklos, Mr. Schuber, Mrs. Ballas, Mr. Harskowicz, Lieutenant Colonel Sandella, Mr. Kandrak, Mr. Lloyd, Dr. Pullen, Ms. Koffold, Mrs. Urena, and my fellow principals, Mrs. Willig, Mr. Mainwaring, Mrs. Prysick, Mr. Sandrosky, Mr. O'Neill, Mrs. Banasic, Mr. Suman, Mr. Collier, Mr. Falone, Mr. McCabe, and Mr. Telly. Thank you all for your hard work and dedication to the students of Norwin School District. Dr. Taylor, I have examined each and every academic record of this year's senior class. The seniors present here this evening have met the requirements for graduation set forth by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Norwin School Board. It is an honor to present the Norwin High School graduating class of 2022 to you for the awarding of diplomas.
Dr. Chobe, I accept your recommendation, and by the authority set forth by the Pennsylvania Department of Education and the Norwin School District, I accept the class of 2022 and declare them graduated. Congratulations. Good evening and welcome, parents, families, friends, community members, and a special welcome to the class of 2022 to the 63rd commencement ceremony at Norwin High School. Over the years, I have learned many life lessons. I believe that one of the most important lessons I learned is that we cannot have everything and do everything at the same time. We must create a balance. You have to have a balance between those two. Therefore, I would like to spend a few moments speaking to you about the importance of balance as you move from a member of the class of 2022 to pursue your own individual paths to adulthood. Sometimes, memorable life lessons can actually be learned from watching videos and movies, although not necessarily the ones you see on TikTok. For me, when I think about the importance of balance, I remember learning about that life lesson from a movie entitled The Karate Kid, starring Ralph Macchio, which now that I think about it was released about in 1984, which is 20 years prior to any of you were born. Feeling a little old here. I would like to respectfully ask that everyone, students, and those in the audience in the stands, if you could please indulge me for a moment and participate in a quick poll. Could you please raise your hand if you have ever seen or heard of the 1984 movie, The Karate Kid? Could you please raise your hand if you've ever seen? Okay. This makes it a lot easier. In 2018, 34 years after The Karate Kid premiered, a TV series entitled Cobra Kai was released. This series follows the Karate Kid's main characters who are in a very different part of their lives. Now, another quick poll again. I would like to once again ask everyone to raise your hand if you have seen or heard of the TV series Cobra Kai. Have you seen that? I saw a few more audience members raise their hands and graduates, but I think I'm okay to continue. In the original movie, Macchio's character Daniel received some very sage advice from his karate teacher, mentor, and friend Mr. Miyagi about the importance of balance in your life. You see, Daniel was training for his first karate tournament when he asked his teacher when he would learn how to punch. Mr. Miyagi said, "Better learn balance. Balance is key. Balance good, karate good. Everything good. Balance bad, better pack up and go home." Although Daniel's immediate and short-term goal was to learn how to punch so that he wouldn't be humiliated in the karate tournament, Mr. Miyagi was focused on the long-term development of his young student. Like many great thinkers, Mr. Miyagi knew the importance of having balance in one's life. I would like to share 3 areas in which I ask you to consider as you move into the next phase of your lives. First, balance for your health. Second, balance with your time. And lastly, balance with your relationships and family. I believe that finding the right balance in these 3 areas are essential elements for leading a successful and fulfilling life. Many of you will be on your own in the very near future, and you will likely experience some significant lifestyle changes. Whether you're going on to higher education, entering the workforce, or serving in the military, you will most certainly experience changes which can cause your life to go out of balance for a period of time, impacting your health, your time, and your relationships. As an example of how a change in your lifestyle can impact the balance of your health, for those of you who will soon be entering college, I can point you to the dreaded freshman 15. This refers to the 15 pounds of weight that college freshmen can put on during their first year away from home. You may not exercise enough. You may eat a bag of Doritos at 1 o'clock in the morning. Or for your dinner, you may just eat a box of crumble cookies. These changes can impact the balance of your health. Fortunately, if you make the necessary adjustments, you can bring your health back into balance and lose those extra 15 pounds and keep them off, well, unless you are going to be a school superintendent and they don't ever go away. Regarding the importance of balance with your time, freshmen will need to find balance among the 3 S's: studying, socializing, and sleeping. Learning effective strategies for time management can make the difference between your successes and your failures. The key to finding success is to create the proper balance between studying hard, getting plenty of sleep, and socializing responsibly. Finally, as you spread your wings and become more and more independent, please remember the importance of maintaining a healthy balance with your relationships and your families. Your family is one of the greatest blessings you will ever have. The time demands of work and college can be very overwhelming, but I encourage you to do everything in your power to preserve quality time with your family. When you're away, call home periodically, or send a text, a tweet, or at least some of them a Snapchat to reassure your family you're okay. But please don't rely on TikTok because the majority of your parents do not have accounts. And although I know that you never post on Facebook, please remember that your parents and grandparents probably spend a lot of time there, so a post here and there would be appreciated. Maintaining a healthy balance between time spent at work or college with time spent with family is always a very wise investment. I'll end my remarks as I started with some wise advice from Mr. Miyagi. Balance is not just for karate. Balance is a lesson for your whole life. If your whole life has balance, everything is better. Congratulations, class of 2022, and best wishes for a balanced and fulfilling future. Thank you.
At this time, we will begin the portion of the ceremony reserved for the presentation of diplomas. This will include the roll call of the class of 2022, led by Dr. McCracken and Dr. Snyder, and the presentation of diplomas by Dr. Taylor and Mrs. Sioka. First, please join me as we celebrate the class of 2022 with the Norwin Alma Mater, sung by members of the class of 2022.
On a grassy hillside, spacious wide to see, stands our alma mater. We will sing of thee, Norwin high forever. We will strive to be always faithful, loyal, Norwin dear to thee. With her colors bright, our banner gleams so true, making hearts beat right for our own gold and blue.
As individuals prepare for this portion of the ceremony, please be respectful. Let each individual student enjoy their moment by not ruining the moment of the next student. Refrain from exaggerated, over-the-top yelling, cheering, or applauding when your graduate's name is called, so that each student gets their due.
Yeah, because then the camera can see them there.
And at this time, we will begin the roll call.
Mason Paul Amick.
Brady Daniel Lackey.
Jackson Tyler Apgar.
Austin James Lane.
Jacqueline Reese Aquilio.
Alyssa Christine Lockus.
Michael Glenn Astrab.
Brooke Elise Rose Lechner.
Jacob Riley Awenowitz.
Olivia Bella Leonard.
Anthony Nicholas Baker.
Luke Thomas Lewandowski.
Emma Margaret Balaban.
Jonathan Darius Michael Long.
Lauren Kennedy Ball.
Trina Aaron Lord.
William Spencer Ballas.
Allison Taylor Loudon.
Dominic Allen Barca.
Chloe Lynn Lucondi.
Natalie Grace Barkley.
Taylor Kirsten Lutz.
Anthony Theodore Barley.
Keely Rose McKenzie.
Victoria Marie Barone.
Anna Marie Madonia.
Nicholas Lee Baronti.
Olivia Helene Mahofsky.
William Francis Baverso.
Elizabeth Ann Mahoney.
Jenna Marie Beach.
Vivian Eve Mammis.
Bailey Bell Benedict.
Robert Joseph Marcos.
Jenna Angelina Bernard.
Andrew Joseph Marflack.
Kaylee Simone Bivens.
Juliana Ziong Marflack.
Evan Andrew Blanco.
Tori Ann Marflack.
Colleen Aaron Boatwright.
Chase Brian Marsalko.
Michelle Irene Bogelid.
Madison Carey Martin.
Catherine Marie Bonner.
Olivia K. Mestrilli.
Miranda Rose Booth.
Jenna Lynn Maddie.
Matthew Dennis Bosley.
Sarah Jane Matz.
Madison Rose Bowman.
William Nicholas McCabe.
Natalie Jean Bown.
Julie Marie Magaki.
Owen Alexander Brayman.
Slater Ray McGonigal.
Tabitha Marie Bramhall.
Jenna Victoria McGinnis.
Taylor Jordan Briney.
Maddox Robert McGurk.
Davis Edwin Brown.
Jacob Matthias Meyer.
Caitlin Natasha Carafa Brown.
Caitlin Marie Metz.
Olivia Paige Brown.
Lex Michael Myers.
Kaylin Paige Brucker.
Jaden Ashley Maholsky.
Becca Ann Bungard.
Natalie Elizabeth Miller.
Lakin Ella Burmeister.
Nicholas Bruce Miller.
Robert James Burns.
Christian Sean Minto.
Abby Elizabeth Burtnett.
Zachary David Moffett.
Dominic John Bazzato.
Camden Ellis Montgomery.
Jessica Nicole Bushig.
Ryan Andrew Morscheid.
Courtney Michelle Byers.
Charles Jason Morgan.
Evelyn Chow.
Riley Elizabeth Morningstar.
Ella Ann Cardiff.
Abigail Patricia Morrow.
Thomas Raymond Carney Jr.
Jordan Michael Moza.
Anthony Alexander Cavallero.
Ryan Donald Mulroy.
Andrew David Serto.
Luke Anthony Mumpower.
Robert William Chappell III.
Jordan Grace Disney Naperkowski.
Cole Michael Charles.
Maya Grace Naponic.
Julianne Renee Shennett.
Elizabeth Maria Nasario.
Tyler James Chernisky.
Andrew Davis Nestor.
Max Ryan Christopher.
Willem Schuyler Newbert.
Noah James Seaback.
Elizabeth Catherine Nicholson.
Logan Dean Clare.
Brianna Nicole Novak.
Jacob Blake Clark.
Luke Anthony Novotny.
Kayla Leone Clark.
Riley Shea Oslowski.
Zachary David Coates.
Joshua Thomas Page.
Riley Renee Coles.
Dante James Palmieri.
Sarah Louise Call.
Carly Ann Pascal.
Jonathan Robert Columbus.
Luke William Passarelli.
Stephen Christopher Conboy.
Addison Noel Patrick.
Aiden Edward Conroy.
Isabella June Penrose.
Ashlyn Nicole Cornelius.
Angelina Kathleen Pepe.
Angelo Joseph Olalo Constantino.
Sydney Marie Pasarsic.
Ashley Elizabeth Kramer.
Nathan Richard Petranka.
Aaron Philip Crankshaw.
Braden Joseph Petrarco.
Grayson May Critchfield.
Aaron Catherine Pezzi.
Alea Romana Crutchfield.
Sophia Marie Passini.
Ashley Lynn Cumpston.
Taylor Lauren Podob.
Catherine Ann Danzak.
April Rose Pompora.
Macy Eileen Doherty.
Olivia Noel Posgay.
Abigail Markham Davis.
Joshua Hayden Powell.
Gisela Jabette Davis.
Riley Marie Pratt.
Ryan Joseph Dean.
Mia Elizabeth Price.
Colin Edward Denny.
Alexander Stephen Prock.
Sean Patrick Dick.
Reese Lee Polkownick.
William John Dillner IV.
McKenna Marie Pushkar.
Ryan Edward Dimitrov.
Maggie Rose Race.
Carly Maria DePaulo.
Christopher Richard Reagan.
Nicholas Peter DePerna.
Isabella Ann Recker.
Gianna Angelina Disso.
Alexander Edward Redmond.
John Michael Drabison IV.
Lacey Marie Reed.
Gabriel John Dunlap.
Carly Nicola Ryder.
Elijah King Dunn.
Chase Rendulic.
Nicholas Jason Dutka.
Ashley Nicole Rice.
Cassandra L. Dye.
Mallory Grace Reichel.
William Thomas Egger II.
Layla Lynn Robertson.
Daleen Marie Eckberg.
Sebastian Rosado Ginden.
Caden Joseph Evans.
Karina Nicole Rosario Zapata.
Kylie Ann Everett.
Thomas Henry Rose.
Matthew Michael Falk Jr.
Brandon Thomas Ross.
Logan Dallas Fear.
Patrick Moore Rost.
Julie Marie Feckety.
Hunter Thomas Roycroft.
Nathan David Fell.
Madison Emily Ruffin.
Jacob David Ferry.
Dylan Michael Sacco.
Adam Anthony Fiorentino.
Nathan Aaron Safko.
Alex Marco Fiorentino.
Casey James Sage.
Grace Joelle Fisher.
Douglas Joseph Samber.
Lane Elizabeth Fisher.
Kenzie Morgan Saraki.
Margaret Anna Fight.
Nicole Brooke Saraki.
Michael Dominic Fleming.
Jacob William Sawich.
Trevor James Flynn.
Bella Marie Scaramuzzo.
Emily Fortuna.
Hannah Catherine Shoddy.
Elena Jenna Francis.
Navy Blue Sheridan.
Ryan Francis Fuga.
Cody David Shirley.
Michael John Fulmer.
Aaron John Schmuck.
Gabriella Annabelle Fusco.
Addison Elizabeth Schultz.
Katerina Maria Garvin.
Dylan Cole Schwab.
Michael Andrew Gatos.
Joseph Matthias Sikoski.
Raymond Edward Geisler III.
Carly Joy Sedlock.
Jonna Ann Galarski.
Cole Patrick Siebert.
Julietta Joy Gill.
Matthew David Siegler.
Haley Elizabeth Gooch.
Olivia Joe Schaefer.
Mia Margaret Goodlin.
Grace Elizabeth Shepard.
Molly Michelle Gounder.
Alyssa Diane Shields.
Sydney Sean Gray.
Tyler James Shigo.
Jacob Charles Greer.
Juliana Marie Shimko.
Gabrielle Marie Greaves.
Mackenzie Ann Schrum.
Matthew Hunter Grimes.
Michael Adam Seifert.
Sierra Brooke Guastafaro.
Bryce David Siggett.
Bryce David Golden.
Nicholas Joseph Simpson.
Jenna Nicole Gulabon.
Shauna Bianca Sinchak.
Michael James Guthrie.
McKenna Rose Sinchar.
Braden P. Habarka.
Anthony Lawrence Singer.
Hunter William Haynes.
Sukaran Singh.
Carson Hunter Handra.
Riley Elizabeth Cernick.
Sage Renee Hanko.
Evan Michael Sivak.
Hunter Lee Hardy.
Lindsay Catherine Skidmore.
Logan Gregory Harhai.
Kevin Brian Squares.
Ryan Joseph Harrigan.
Brooke B. Smerick.
Cassandra Rose Harris.
Elena Jade Smiley.
Nicholas Patrick Harris.
Kylan Taylor Smith.
Adam Lee Hathaway Jr.
Taylor Pilar Smith.
Brianna Lynn Haddock.
Tyler Alexander Smurfat.
Victoria Elizabeth Heffelfinger.
Luke Andrew Snyder.
Jordan Sarah Hagan.
Jaden Nicole Soika.
Lexus Christian Hendler.
Luca Christian Spadalazano.
Connor Joseph Henning.
Alexis Destiny Speranzo.
Grace Nicole Hoyer.
Adam Michael Soroka.
Austin Miles Hewitt.
Julia Nicole Stamera.
Ryan Matthew Heilman.
Stephanie K. Stanley.
John Lawrence Hill.
Prescott Rudolph Stoffer.
Emily Paige Hinchberger.
Ty Alexander Stecco.
Logan John Heinlein.
Grace Marie Steen.
Lillian Marie Hope.
Ashlyn Nicole Steffen.
Colby James Horvath.
Kai Jones Stepien.
Noah Peter Hauser.
Cole Edward Stewart.
Victoria Hua.
Justine Faith Kastner Stalinsky.
Kendall Faith Hum.
Jordan Marie Straub.
Alexander James Hunn.
Jacob Alexander Striley.
Emily Victoria Hunn.
Brooke Kathleen Sullenberger.
Nicholas Alexander Hunn.
Paloma Latong Therese Swankler.
Tyler Thomas Hussey.
Serena Lynn Taylor.
Madison Elizabeth Jackson.
Joey Allison Testa.
Olivia Grace Jacob.
Hope Irene Thomas.
Lauren June Jordan.
Quinn Preston Thomas.
Trinity Elizabeth Joy.
Nicole Mary Tuffer.
Nathaniel Latisse Kadosh Harris.
Mackenzie Gail Turkowski.
James Riley Kalb.
Riley James Turnbull.
James Eric Kane.
Russell Julius Tyson.
Dakota Ryan Kasunik.
Riley James Vetter.
Olivia Faith Katona.
Naman Verma.
Bonnie Elise Kay.
Noah Christopher Visco.
Sean Zachary Kells.
Nico Maurice Walker.
William Cody Kelly.
Alexandra Josephine Walton.
Jacob Thomas Kendro.
Emily Margaret Watson.
Mitch Alfred Kenny.
Jordan Diane Weissensee.
Jessica Riley Kessler.
Mallory Jordan Wenzel.
Julie Ann Kavicki.
Dylan David Werder.
Noah Jeffrey Kirsch.
Nevea Ray Wessel.
Olivia Catherine Nagel.
Emma Nicole Westover.
Dawson Bruce Knorp.
Luke Michael Wyant.
Abigail Marie Knaus.
John Alexander Whalen.
Mary Renee Coaches.
Landon Michael Witt.
Frederick Quinn Copus.
Cameron Louise Williams.
Chase Richard Kranitz.
Grant Joseph Williams.
Marcella Marie Krupp.
Lily Reese Williams.
Courtney Elaine Krydick.
Trinity Christine Wills.
Caleb Stevenson Kurkowski.
Colton Jeffrey Wobrack.
Chase Robert Rigo.
Noah Joseph Wadilla.
Ashley Jessica Bodner.
Anthony Christopher Wanovich.
Megan Grace Schuber.
Amanda Elizabeth Woods.
Sierra Brooke Guerin.
Tanner Joseph Yaklich.
Madison Paige Butina.
Joshua William Yannon.
Cassidy Noel Scalise.
Andrew C. Yanez.
Benjamin Max Dom.
Maria Rose Yaniga. Ashton Jacob Yems. Jacob Samuel Young. Brianna Nicole Zajac. Joseph Anthony Zaradsky. Angelina Marie Zeza. Jawei Stephen Zhang. Riley Dalton Zimmerman. Jacob W. Zwiebel.
Emma Kushleen Rigoni, Senior Class Recording Secretary. Ravina Yeshvant Navalgund, Senior Class Corresponding Secretary. Savannah Lynn Lawrence, Senior Class Treasurer.
Molly Grace Hudson, Senior Class Vice President.
Jacob Alexander Capitz, Salutatorian. Rebecca Lynn Testa, Valedictorian. Noah Michael Tchaikovsky, Senior Class President.
As the president of the class of 2022, it is my honor to accept these diplomas with excitement and gratitude on behalf of each of my classmates as they embark on a new and unique journey. Each graduate has arrived here on this day because of hard work and thoughtful consideration of their futures. Some knowing what they are going after, some hoping to figure it out along the way. Each path unique, each path our own to establish. So as we sit here one last time, let's reflect on our journey and the significance of this momentous occasion. When kindergarten began for us in 2009, as 5 and 6-year-olds, we were trying to make friends and follow classroom rules. Along the way, people entered our lives to help us write our stories. Parents, friends, teachers, coaches, and community members, all having a say in how our days would be structured, what we would learn, and the sense of belonging each of us would have. Some of these influencers will be with us forever as we establish our paths to the future because of the indelible mark they have made on our development as a human being. Teachers, it is you who guided us, taught us, modeled for us the opportunities that learning can bestow. You helped each of us to find and explore our passions and guide our futures. We are grateful that you took the time to let each of us find our inner strengths and gifts. It is through your expertise and light that we have become rich in knowledge, which will power and illuminate our futures. Fellow 2022 classmates, we've shared laughter, tears, frustration, kindness, love, and friendship. Each of you will forever be in a story that is told and retold by a fellow 2022 classmate as a favorite childhood or high school memory. Our time together has helped mold each of us to who we are and who we will become. It is my wish that each of you finds happiness and fulfillment in whatever you decide to go after in life. May each of you shine your light into the world and live for what is important to you. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as your class president for these 4 years. I am forever grateful. And finally, to the important people at home, moms, dads, guardians, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and siblings. We would not be here without your love and guidance. You've been our greatest champions and sometimes our biggest critics. You've provided the love and support that has taught us how to live. Without you, we would not be here celebrating our high school graduation and preparing to the best of our abilities for what comes next. We love you immensely. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. As we receive these diplomas and leave here tonight to embark on the next chapter of our lives, I'd like to challenge each of my classmates to believe in themselves, strive to fulfill your dreams, and find support along the way when needed. Nobody should be alone on this journey of life. I am often guided by this quote, "Your talent is God's gift to you. What you do with it is your gift back to God." Go shine your light on the world and share your gifts. Create spotlights for others to shine as well. I wish each of you every blessing and accomplishment you desire. Thank you.
Graduation ceremonies are really strange. Just think about it. At the era of your life when time just seems to be flying by, the sun pops up and the next second it's gone, each sunset a step closer to the sudden slap of bittersweet adulthood. During this rapid-fire period of life, we take a few hours to slow down and reflect. And we do this by holding graduation ceremonies, where time just seems to S-T-O-P. Personally, I'm a big fan of the concept. I've always been the type to mourn a moment's passage before it even ends. I was afraid to leave freshman orientation because moving on from that event signified change. I sat an extra minute in the dark after senior night because I knew that unless my grades got really bad really quick, I wasn't going to be the same person ever again. As seniors, we often find ourselves viewing the things we love as the things we will come to miss. Sometimes it's okay to sit in the dark contemplating how the sun will never set with the exact same hues in that sky again, and reminisce for who your friends are and what your life is like and who you are in that moment. But do not grieve, because every morning the sun rises with new opportunities and memories. When it does, own that light and reflect it. Reflect it in every minute action you perform. Just as it's possible to find yourself trapped in reluctance, it's all too easy to get caught up in the future. To quote, a lot of us are subject to the narrative that life is short and that we have to be the most ambitious and the most extraordinary to shine. I'm not so convinced that is true. To quote the prominent philosopher, Billy Joel, slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you want to be before your time. Our best work is rooted in authenticity, an acceptance of all of our faults and aptitudes, and in contributing what we individually have to offer. The best contribution you can make is not being the best, but being your best self. I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do in your life. Frankly, I'm not certain what I'm doing with my own. It's up to you to reflect your light in your own way. Life is what you make it. If you're anything like me, if you have doubts about the future, if you're afraid to move on, celebrate the fact that from the time you throw your cap up in the air to the time it comes down, some part of you will always be suspended, flying. If you fear the thought of ordinariness or stagnation, if you can't stand the thought of time stopping for just a second, take comfort in the fact that this speech is almost over. Yes, it's nearly over. Soon our alma mater will no longer be an anthem sung before football games, but rather the school we once attended. And in light of that, I have a poem to share, an ode to our alma mater from the class of 2022. On a grassy hillside, spacious wide to see, there stands 406 plus me who have walked through these fluorescent-filled halls, 720 days in all. On a grassy hillside, spacious wide to see, we stand here for the last time as a we. Class of 2022, adorned in gowns of Norwin blue. I was expecting to see tears, but all of us are ready to get the heck out of here. In this moment, where time stands still, take a beat to reminisce, but remember the sun rises every day. It's time we rise with it and offer the world all of our differing rays of light. So, for the class of 2022, I'm predicting sunny skies.
At the conclusion of the ceremony, Dr. Taylor and I will be leading the students from the stadium up the fieldhouse ramp back to the high school, where students will receive the diploma that goes inside of the empty case that they have in their hands. We ask the audience to remain in their seats until all graduates have left the stadium. If you intervene for a photo, they may never receive their actual diploma. In the safety of this evening, please exit carefully back through the way you came. Be cautious in the parking lots, especially the crosswalks. We will open the campus up after the ceremony if you'd like to have photos. After students go into the high school, they are permitted to leave and meet you on the field if you'd like that. Around the Veterans Monument, we have a chalk art drawing out by the athletic entrance and even signs outside the front of the high school. Again, after graduates get their diploma in the high school, they will be free to meet you either back here on the field or around the campus. Please not in the parking lots, though. At this time, will all graduates please stand? You may now move your tassels from right to left, signifying you are a graduate of Norwin High School. Parents, families, friends in the Norwin community, it is an honor and a pleasure to present to you the Norwin High School graduating class of 2022.